On May 11, 2004, Kobe Bryant woke up shortly before 4 o'clock in the morning, took a private jet from LA to Eagle, Colorado, where he spent 6.5 hours in court, finally pleading not guilty to sexual assault charges at 2:30 p.m.
How do you plead? Not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty.
From there, he flew back to LA, arriving just 2 hours before Game 4 of the Western Conference Semifinals against his old rivals and reigning champions, the San Antonio Spurs. Despite the grueling day, with the Lakers down 2-1 in the series, Kobe couldn't afford an off night. And if anyone could handle this type of adversity, it was the Mamba himself. What up everybody, my name is Stefan and this is Heat Check. Let's get into it. During the 03-04 season, Kobe Bryant attended numerous court hearings in Colorado, which conflicted with 10 games on the Lakers schedule. On paper, this sounded like bad news for the Lakers, one more distraction to add to the growing list of questions surrounding this team, chemistry, injuries, and free agency. But opponents quickly learned that Kobe's court dates spelled more trouble for them than the Lakers, with the young Mamba producing moments like this.
This was the scene here at Staples Center just moments ago. Kobe Bryant, as we had talked about, in the building, and as Bill McDonald alluded to, going to get warmed up, ride the stationary bike, already perspiring, coming out being greeted by the crowd, and also Stu being greeted very warmly by his teammates, and he's coming right in the game.
Well, might as well bring him right in the game. The end of the first quarter, start of the second. Bring him in, got him nice and warm. The crowd gave him a standing ovation when he entered the building or entered the playing area. Now most of them are on their feet yet again as he makes his first appearance.
Kobe pops out. Kobe's going to go. Couple of left-handed dribbles. Has a look at it. Oh! The Lakers win! As always, any shot at the...
And this.
Luke Walton being guarded by Yao. Yao had a piece of his jersey. Here comes Kobe around the corner.
Oh, jump shot, good by Kobe.
Oh,
right over Yao.
Oh my goodness. Did he even see the basket?
And dropping 30 or more points in 5 of those games. Karl Malone said, you take 100 guys and you put them through this and the whole gang of them would bail out. And Kobe could have taken time off, taken the season off. You had people saying that's what he should do. Long days like that seemed to get him only more jump-started and focused. No game displayed this focus more than Game 4 against the Spurs. Early on, Kobe struggled from the field, 1 for 5, and the Lakers were down by 10 early in the second quarter. But from that point on, Kobe played every minute, scoring 35 points on 14 for 22 shooting from the field, and all of that against one of the best defenders in the league, Bruce Bowen, turning the game in LA's favor with ridiculous moves and shots from every spot on the floor. In previous seasons, Kobe's almost sociopathic approach to the game was a liability for the Lakers, driving teammates and coaches away. But this season, they all understood that this sort of personality is what allowed him to cope with the off-court pressure, tune out the noise, and just play ball, which in his own words came as sort of a therapy for him. After the game, Bryant called it his best playoff game ever, which is huge considering his illustrious career. And despite their ongoing feud, Shaq said this, "I don't see how he does it. He's a fabulous player, probably the best player that ever played the game, especially with all the stuff he's been going through." This is an even bigger statement, and even though a bit over the top in that moment, it does show you how massive this thing was. The Lakers went on to win the series, and when it was all said and done, LA's record was 9-0 when Kobe went to court on the day off or the day before a game. Unbelievable. Unsurprisingly, out of the 10 games that conflicted with Kobe's dates in court, the only one they lost was the one Kobe didn't suit up for. And even though the Lakers eventually lost in the finals to the Detroit Pistons, this season produced one of the most memorable storylines of Kobe's Hall of Fame career. This was peak Mamba mentality, his biggest attribute that made him one of the greatest players to ever play this game. That's it for now. Subscribe and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.